Today we have artificial intelligence. We have the best machine advancement that ever existed before. But still, we cannot decode a book that we found over 112 years ago. And this is the story of the Voynich Manuscript. And despite having the best technology, it still sounds impossible to decode this 240 pages of book that contains a completely unknown language with 170,000 unique characters. But who really does care to decode this old stuff? Well, because this is around 600 years old book, something maybe around the year 1420, and it becomes important because it is filled with illustrations of astrological symbols, and even naked women bathing in strange waters. And I am talking about 600 years ago. And because of this, the Voynich Manuscript is regarded as one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of history. But will we ever crack the code? How has it survived for centuries without revealing its secrets? And who actually wrote this? Well, before we dive in, do us a favor, please hit that subscribe button and like the video. With that being said, let us go back to the year 1912. This is Wilfred Voynich, a rare book dealer who bought an old dusty manuscript for just a few $100s from a Jesuit monastery in Italy. It just looked like an ordinary medieval text, but as Voynich looked closer, he saw something that he had never seen before in his entire life. This manuscript, now known as Voynich Manuscript 408, was filled with mysterious illustrations like unidentifiable plants, star charts, and drawings of naked women bathing in a very strange way. So, what was this book really about? Was it a map, a scientific guide, or something more? He sent it to some of the best minds of his time, linguists, historians, and cryptographers, but no one could even crack its code. However, they found that the manuscript was carbon dated to the early 1400s, and it confirmed that the manuscript is medieval, which means it is not some modern fake, and was created during the Renaissance, which is the period in European civilization that was marked by a revival of classical learning and wisdom, yet still it did not match anything from that era. It was like it came from another world and from another time. After Voynich's death, the book was donated to Yale University, and still, even today, it has become one of the most famous unsolved mysteries in the world. But what exactly is inside this book? Well, this book has over 100 plant illustrations, and most of them look unlike any plant we know. However, there is a very popular theory that revolves around the scholars about this book, and they believe inside the book there is actually a hidden treasure map that was designed to protect the secrets of the occult and alchemy. Now, alchemy was once considered an occult science, and the term occult sciences was used in 16th century Europe to describe alchemy, astrology, and natural magic. And they believe this because it might be possible that there is a code that is crafted by someone and was deeply covered in mysticism that was protecting the powerful knowledge. And when you see the mysterious drawing of plants inside the manuscript that might not even exist, it seems like an actual representation of alchemical ingredients or processes. The process was the way that ancient science used to transform basic materials into precious ones, like turning lead into gold. Alongside these strange plants, the manuscript also contains numerous cosmic symbols, such as stars and moons, which are believed to be connected to astrological beliefs. Even in the 16th century, alchemists and mystics often used astrology to predict or influence events. And these illustrations inside the book might reflect their deep connection to the stars and their supposed powers. Meanwhile, the manuscript text itself is even more interesting, and scholars suggest that the mysterious script, often referred to as Voynich, was intentionally designed to protect powerful and esoteric knowledge. And interestingly, the manuscript's early history connected it to people that are deeply interested in alchemy and the occult. Like, for example, in the 17th century, a Czech alchemist named Georg Baresch became one of the first to attempt decoding its contents. Later, the manuscript was acquired by Emperor Rudolf II of the Holy Roman Empire, who was known for his fascination with the occult and alchemical practices. However, moving forward to now, scientists have found something strange that might reveal some sort of secrets, and that is the strange, repetitive depictions of women bathing. Now, it seems shocking because instead of regular tubs or bathhouses, these illustrations show women in unusual, cylindrical shapes, submerged in what could almost pass as mysterious pools or strange containers. And it might be possible that they might be linked to medieval beliefs about health and wellness, as bathing was often seen as a form of purification. And if you see the pictures properly, then it seems like the women are not just bathing but are also engaged in some sort of ancient rituals that are still beyond our understanding till yet. Even the symbols that appear around the women in the illustrations are also found in other sections of the manuscript. So could these bathing scenes be connected to some sort of cosmic or spiritual significance? Yes, there might be a chance. And if we take a more detailed look at the Voynich manuscript, then it includes the text that was made up of around 170,000 characters, a whole alphabet that contains 25 to 30 different symbols that repeat in patterns. The alphabet itself looks almost beautiful, like a piece of art, and the manuscript has a rhythm, a kind of structure that suggests whoever wrote this followed specific rules, almost like they were writing in a way that we do not even know how to understand. And then some scholars come up with a theory that might sound possible. But before, how did someone know such a thing in code that even the most skilled code breakers of today's generation were not able to crack? For example, the Central Intelligence Agency and the National Security Agency have come up with William Friedman, one of the most legendary code breakers in history, who spent years trying to crack this code. Yet still, it defeated him. Even in the 20th century, linguists from around the world tried to make sense of the manuscript using their knowledge of languages and codes. But again, nothing happened. In fact, it has been over 600 years, and this manuscript is still as unreadable as the day it was written. So who wrote this manuscript exactly? And that is where some scholars again came up with a popular theory and believed this Voynich Manuscript book is connected with Roger Bacon. But wait, who is Roger Bacon? Well, Roger Bacon was a 13th century scholar who was so ahead of his time that he was called the father of scientific experimentation. And he was also deeply involved in alchemy, astrology, and all kinds of esoteric knowledge. At a time when most people were stuck in medieval superstition, even Bacon was studying science and natural philosophy in ways that were revolutionary for his time. Even many believed he also understood cryptography, which is the art of encoding messages. So he has the knowledge, so there is a popular theory, and some scholars believe that the Voynich Manuscript is a coded book created by Bacon himself to preserve his most valuable secrets. Then, Johannes Marci, a scholar in the 17th century who came into possession of the manuscript, claimed in a letter that the manuscript once belonged to Emperor Rudolf II and was believed to have been written by Roger Bacon. Well, this makes sense, right? Bacon is connected with these complex texts, and the Voynich Manuscript is also connected with it, but again, it is just a theory, and there is not any concrete proof regarding it. But what do you think about this? Well, let me know in the comments. However, no one has ever found a concrete link between Bacon and the manuscript aside from this letter, which raises a lot of questions. Did Bacon really create this book? If he did, why hide it in such a complicated way? For a long time, no one could even figure out what language the manuscript was written in, but the breakthrough came when modern technology entered. Artificial intelligence and machine learning are now being used to analyze the manuscript's text, and algorithms can now detect patterns, letter combinations, and structures that we could not see before. Just a few years ago, a team of researchers at University College London used artificial intelligence to compare the Voynich script to real languages, and they actually found the similarities with natural languages that no one had ever considered before. However, despite all the research, countless theories, and even modern technology, no one has ever cracked its code. And the best part is that people are still trying to solve this mystery, and maybe within some years, finally, we will decode one of the most mysterious books of all time. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think the Voynich Manuscript really is? A code, a hoax, or something far more mysterious? Drop your comments, and if you want to explore more such interesting history and mystery topics, check the left video.